huge deal of what could potentially be another petition, long drawn, which we wait to see what the outcome will be. Only that, in the case of the Electoral Commission, and I've let out the cut from the bag, we've seen a process like this play out somewhere 2017 thereabout into 2018, involving Charlotte Osei and her deputies. What it is that we've seen is that there's another individual who has been interdicted. It actually works with the Electoral Commission, Joseph Blankson Edumazi, who says that he has written to the president and asking that they investigate, if possible. A committee will be set up if the Chief Justice now finds a prima facie case against the, or on face value says there's something for them to answer. He's asking that they look into these matters and then the Electoral Commission and their deputies answer for what he says, a number of issues, but he will not go into the details. We have a copy of the statement that he issued, and for our listeners who follow us on Facebook, you can go on Facebook as well, and then myself and Helen will try and walk through that right now, and then we can get a bit more, because he will join us on the phone lines as well for a quick conversation on this particular one as well. But Helen, you want to start for us what he's been saying?
All right, so this is the public statement, and it reads as follows. I wish to inform the general public that I, Joseph Blankson Edumazi, a citizen of the Republic of Ghana, and staff of the Electoral Commission have submitted a formal petition to the President of the Republic of Ghana in accordance with Article 146 of the 1992 Constitution, seeking the removal of Mrs. Jean Adukwe Mensa, the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Dr. Bosman Eric Asare, Deputy Chairperson Corporate Services, and Mr. Samuel Tete, Deputy Chairperson Operations, from office. Without disclosing the content of the petition in accordance with law, the petition cites 12 counts of stated misbehavior, including cronyism, abuse of office, and gross incompetence, which have collectively undermined public confidence in the Electoral Commission and pose a threat to the credibility, independence, and integrity of Ghana's electoral process. This action is taken in the supreme interest of the 1992 Constitution, accountable governance, and preservation of the dignity of the Electoral Commission. I have therefore respectfully prayed the President of the Republic of Ghana to act in accordance with his constitutional duty by referring the petition to the Chief Justice for the determination of a prima facie case. I remain committed to upholding the principles of transparency, fairness, and integrity in our democratic institutions.
Right. So that's pretty much the entirety of her statement. I didn't hear a lot from you in the mornings as to what you made of this in particular, but for many people, this is not surprising. And I'll say not surprising for a number of reasons, in that there's a suspicion that, look, this is always what the NDC government was going to do. It's a claim, it's an allegation that's been there for quite a while, and so not many surprise. That's why perhaps we saw the details captured in the manner in which it was captured. But in and by yourself, what it is that we're seeing and this petition coming at this time, because you were saying at this time, and we're seeing a new CJ as well coming through. Great timing. What do you make of it? I just
depending on what side of the divide you are, you might call it interesting timing. You might call it strategic timing. You might call it divine timing. You might call it divine timing, a divine intervention. Now, in the run-up to the 2024 election, we saw the kind of fracas that ensued between the NDC and the EC. I mean, I can list a litany of issues that were, hotly contested between the two entities. You had Coral Draw, You had problems with the register, the NDC calling for an overhaul, and the consistent cries on the part of the NDC that this EC just simply wasn't fit for purpose. A host of other issues. However, this year matters seem to have maybe simmered down or quietened down, only to be hit with this particular petition, which comes from a member of staff, as it were, of the Electoral Commission, which I think adds another layer of, I don't even know how I would term it, but certainly makes things a lot more interesting. We don't have the full details of the issues as outlined: cronyism, gross incompetence, and this individual says that there are 12 counts to talk of, and I'm sure we will be maybe not too surprised by some of the issues that will finally emerge, because these had been front and center even before the 2024 election. This idea that this EC was just grossly incompetent and issues here and there, and I think that's all going to come to bear. The Daily Guide this morning said what? Mahama to remove.
Yeah.
For, like I said, for certain persons, they think it's a foregone conclusion that Mensa chairperson and her 2 deputies are out of here. That's how they read the situation so far. And so we wait to see what the next steps are. And as you outlined this morning, we know that now Chief Justice Paul Bafoboni, will have that responsibility of determining if this actually even moves forward in any capacity. He will have the full details of what is being alleged, these 12 counts that are being alleged in this petition. We can only wait to follow on in that journey. But as it unravels, we make our inferences and our inputs, and also solicit expert opinions.
And he's been speaking, and we'll seek to get him on. We'll seek to get him on the phone line as well. But like you said, it's very interesting timing that we're seeing this particular petition come up. And I find it even very intriguing that he decides to put out his name, who he is speaking openly. There is the legal conversation as to what this means or what this does to the petition. Because remember, the 146 process is supposed to be discreet and is supposed to carry an air of... I'll return to the word discreet again. Nobody is supposed to know about it. It's not supposed to be something where there will be open conversations about the subject matter. That's why the committee process is even such that it's in camera. Nobody comes to talk about it. In the under the 146 committee, which was set up for the CJ, that brought about instances where people were raising eyebrows as to whether or not it was indeed right for commentaries and the likes to have come out, even from the former Chief Justice and all of that. But we've seen this petition before, and when it came out the first time, it was a number of staff who had come together who petitioned. We didn't have them openly speaking, because already he's spoken to about 2 or 3 media houses already, explaining what he believes is his side of the story and his basis upon which, and the fact that he's not doing this out of anger or anything, because he's been interdicted. Apparently he's been accused of having been responsible in one way or the other for the BVDs that ended up in private hands. So I think we saw some BVD machines, which was even a basis for concern and the demand for investigations. He says nothing has been substantiated. We'll seek to have him explain what these accusations are when we get him on the show. But that is his position and the claim against him. But he says it is not the basis upon which he has filed this petition to the president.
I actually forgot about that saga that involved missing BVDs and I think some corresponding laptops. I don't recall that we ever got to the bottom of what exactly the issues were. I think at some point the EC had said that, we have retrieved these machines, and that if they are...
I think that in some part they said they had auctioned some of them off.
There were some issues that I think we still needed and still wanted clarification on. And maybe this is the time that some resolution will be brought to these issues, because the elections have, been long gone. We've forgotten some of these incidents, but at the time that it was unfolding, it was a pretty big deal, whether or not
it
was fit for purpose.
It was a subject of very intense conversations as to whether or not. These are very protected materials.
That's
in fact,
right.
there was a case of one stolen from the warehouse of the Electoral Commission, and people were asking questions. Secured CCTV riddled environment, and someone is stealing a BVD machine and all of that. Surely that cannot be the case. And so all of that is why there is the concern, or sometimes the perception, or based on his own words, people are seeking to suggest that perhaps it's sour grapes, and he's seeking to take advantage of a process like this. And it will re-engineer the conversation whether or not we need to re-look the removal process, because as it is now, anybody can just get up and say, oh, so and so and so, and then
whether or not those that are tasked to find out whether there's a prima facie will find one, that's another leg of the conversation. Yes, by all means, people can send in petitions, but do they carry weight? Do they have a leg to stand on? That's what really elevates that conversation, and that's yet to be determined by the CJ in this instance. 12 counts, he says, even though he hasn't given us the details, what will stick and what will not.
It's a question that remains, and a question that we'll be seeking to get a bit more in terms of answers to as well here on the 3FM Sunrise. But we've gone to his petition. We're just hoping we can get him, and then we'll get a few of our of the lawyers as well to join us. We understand he had agreed to speak to us, but currently he's not answering just as yet. And so we will get into those details. But what we know as well is the development from Kpandai, which is of considerable interest to us here as well. Yesterday we had a high court in Tamale, of the many things, make a number of assertions, or rulings rather. Assertions, they could be in trouble. When the court speaks, it is not assertions, they are rulings. They're supposed to be final. And so the court made some final determinations on a matter subject to appeal, which we understand there's that notice and the intention to as well put in an application for stay. I want us to listen to the lawyers of the two, one for the NDC candidate, and then as well Matthew Nyindam's lawyers, on what they made of everything, and then perhaps we'll return and then we'll begin to have the conversation proper.
Certainly.
Every district election collation center, there are certain rights that are preserved for the candidates. Now, when the polling station closes, you move to the district collation center, and that's the parliamentary collation center, and certain things can be done there, including asking for a recount of even the polling station. Now, when you say that the disturbances at the collation center, the law is clear that you either adjourn it to the next day, or you can adjourn it even for a week. But you don't relocate the district or redesignate the collation center without notice to the participating candidates. And then you, when you were brought to court, decide that you are going to support one side against the other, making allegations that the petitioner was involved in busing hooligans to the place to come and destroy property, and also to engage in acts which were inconsistent with the election laws. When the district election officer was put in the box, he could not even point one, even his own videos, to show that indeed the petitioner had done any of those things. So clearly, our point was very simple. The failure to notify the petitioner of the relocation and redesignation of the collation center meant that clearly there was no way he could have participated in the collation and to be able to exercise his rights, which included serious irregularities which we brought to the court. So in the fairness of the entire thing, including the ample evidence that there was complete destruction of the biometric verification system and all that, the only alternative will be to rerun the election. And so we are very happy that the court has ordered that within 30 days, the election should be rerun. The power and the sovereignty lies with the people. It is for them to decide who their MP is. And you cannot be a beneficiary of such an incident and call yourself an MP. That is out of the question. So the alleged MP, who has now been clearly exposed as not being the MP elect, was a beneficiary of a rigged system by the district election officer. And I will appeal to the petitioner and the NDC election committee to ensure that that district election officer does not return back to that position, because he can cause mayhem in this country if he's allowed to do so.
We believe that the petition was frivolous, but the court has decided otherwise. So we respect the decision of the court, but we strongly disagree with the judgment, and we have already shown our aggrievement by filing a competent notice of appeal, and we've added a motion for stay of execution. As a lawyer, if you have picked certain information that judgment will be compromised, you prepare. So you come for the judgment with a notice of appeal in your pocket.
Oh.
So that's counsel. That the last individual was counsel for Mr. Nyindam, who spoke there. Mr. Nyindam, in and by himself as well, spoke to journalists yesterday. I want us to take a listen to what his arguments were in and by himself. That's where he gave the indication of the notice of appeal, and then as well the application for stay, which was going to be subsequently put before the court on that particular one. He had this to say when he spoke to journalists yesterday, and we'll just take a listen to him right now as well, and then I'll return to you, Helen. On the subject matter,
Over the
in terms of what's been happening, and he's been writing on Facebook as well, and said emphatically that look, there's no cause for alarm. The individual should be calm, and they should fret very little, because everything is under control, and they will emerge victorious after the entire process is done. That was his assertion, and we can listen to him as well. I'm just trying to get that for us quickly in terms of his reaction to the development from yesterday as well. But it's looking like the troubles in terms of the NPP's numbers is not quite done yet for now, and we may just have another by-election in the offing. All things.
Well, a full
all
rerun.
things,
I think it's one of the entire
rerun, but
constituency.
it's termed a by-election nonetheless. So let's take a listen to him now. I think I've got the exact point where he was speaking, and then we can return and have the conversation.
I want to put on record that yes, we respect what the judge has said. We vehemently disagree with him. I know that I won the election with a difference of 3,734. That is a clear victory. And if you look at the pink sheets, it's on record that they've admitted that every single pink sheet was given to all the political parties. I have my 152 pink sheets. They have their 152 pink sheets. And if you put the results together, we have won the elections. For some reasons, powers that may be, they decided to come to court, and knowing very well that maybe they'll be able to use the state's powers to overturn certain things. But I think that we are in a country that is governed by laws. And that is why the courts are arranged from a lower level to a higher level. So that when a ruling is given at a lower level and you disagree, you move to the next level, which we have done this time. We have completely filed our stay of execution. The lawyer has done that. He's filed the appeal to as well. And we think that God being so good, the next is...
That is Matthew Nyindam, and he's been writing on Facebook as well, on urging the constituents that they should become. And so if you're on Facebook, you see that, dear good people of Kpandai, don't shiver, don't be perturbed, don't waver. We are a formidable team and nothing can break us. We will surely exhaust all the legal means, is what he says there as well. I don't know what you make of it, but we're talking about whether or not it's a by-election or it's a rerun.
Yes, that's right, because this has been, although listening to both parties yesterday, I think what I gathered is that there were mainly 41 centers in contention. However, the court's ruling is that in 30 days, the entire process is rerun. Now, I recall actually at the time of the elections, Roxanne Nelson Dafiamakpa of the NDC, Member of Parliament, had shared certain videos on his X page. I actually went back in time because I recalled he had shared some very chaotic scenes of what happened in Kpandai and the reasons for which we have, come to where we are now. And it was very, very chaotic scenes. I mean, we had pockets of chaos during the 2024 elections, and certainly Kpandai, if you watch those visuals, was one that was seriously in contention. Looking at the results from, this is 2024, I believe.
Yes.
This would correspond with what Nyindam was saying, that he won by, he's confident, over 3,034 votes. So if you look at, if you're watching us on Facebook, Matthew Nyindam of the NPP, 27,647, and he was declared with some 53.2%. Daniel Wakpal of the NDC, 24,213. That gives him 46.6% of the votes. And then APC also had a candidate. They had one, Donko Eric Nipeni.
The Eric name is...
Why?
He's using it to trail.
0.20%. He had some 104 votes. Interestingly, this would have been a skirt and blouse affair, or it was a skirt and blouse affair, because John Dramani Mahama actually won marginally. Yeah. Bear in mind, because look at the difference. Some 25,488 votes going to the NDC as against Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's.
I think it was a 74 votes difference.
Very, very slim indeed. 25,414, representing 49.93% of the vote. So this, in this instance, if the appeals don't hold any, barring any halting, occasioned by the courts, we could see another very stiff competition.
It will be.
But Nyindam says that he's worried that state machinery and possible state cohesion could mean that he won't be declared because, it's different now. Government is having a good run. The constituents might be wooed by, juicy promises. But we've seen it happen in times past where sitting government's candidates still wasn't able to muscle their way through. We'll see what happens in this particular instance. Everybody else 00000. This one was just between NPP and the NDC as far as the Kpandai constituency is concerned. We read what Nyindam had to say. He said, don't waver, don't be perturbed. It's all going to be fine.
We'll get onto the phone lines. I just raised a fade, and Rashid Tanko, unfortunately, we lost him on the phone lines, and so we're just trying to reconnect with him on that score. But of what it is that we see that it's a constituency that has swung since 2016 thereabout, in terms of who has won what. But let's get onto the phone lines. Rashid Tanko Computer Al-Hajj is a Deputy Director of Elections of the NDC. He's joined us via the phones this morning. Al-Hajj, good morning to you. Thank you very much for joining us here on the 3FM Sunrise.
My brother, let me say good morning to you and your co-panelists, my sister there. And your cherished listeners across Ghana.
Unfortunately, we couldn't have you in studio. I understand you had to make a quick dash back to the office.
Yes, I had to write for some
when you were here.
Somewhere.
But
next time I'll be in the studio.
Absolutely. You were there yesterday. Has it come to your attention and your candidate as well that Mr. Nyindam has filed a notice of appeal and an application pending to stay the decision of the High Courts, because you were confident you were going to win massively when that rerun comes around, but that elections might not come off after all because he's seeking to challenge the outcome of the ruling yesterday?
Well, let me tell you, we are not perturbed at all as a political party. I mean, it's within his right to go for appeal and then a motion of stay. That's within his right. We have no problem at all with that. But we know that nothing will come out of it. Completely. He's just wasting everybody's time. He's just trying to assuage his supporters that they are doing something about it. But nothing will come out of it. The verdict was so strict. I mean, we presented enough evidence before the trial judge. We cross-examined their witnesses. I mean, the first respondent, Electoral Commission, was properly scrutinized and cross-examined by our lawyers. And so we knew that this was how the verdict was going to be, because clearly the guys did not organize the election well. It was not properly organized in terms of the coalition. They did their own thing. They just organized themselves to tamale, sat there, concocted figures, and announced them as a winner. I mean, we're not going to take this. And we were patient enough. Since December, we've been following through this up to yesterday. So we are patient enough. I mean, so this is not an issue at all. They will still lose. I mean, so we are not perturbed, but rather preparing towards the by-election. We know finally there will be a by-election. So we are preparing towards it.
You are preparing towards it, but are you preparing for what possibly could be another challenge and another delay in terms of the constituency having a member of parliament? Because as it stands now, the court has ordered Mr. Nyindam not to hold himself out as an MP.
Well, he has filed a motion of state of execution. That means that he's trying to arrest the decision of the court yesterday whilst pending appeal, right? So technically, we can still say that the constituency has an MP because of the processes he has filed. But it won't be long. You know, this matter will terminate at appeal court. So it's not going to any Supreme Court there. That it will have a long haul process. It won't be long. They are just wasting everybody's time. Instead of them to go and organize themselves for the election, they are using all these antics to waste their people's time and give their supporters some high blood pressure. Nothing will come out.
For you in the NDC, we know the Kpandai constituency is not the only one you're challenging. Is there a status report on the others, even as we continue in this conversation on Kpandai and what can be going into that rerun?
Mauna, the constituency is a traditional constituency. It's a traditional NDC constituency. Since 1992, we've been winning all the presidential in that constituency. Even the parliament, our late MP, Honorable Parliament, he won it almost 6 times, getting to 6 times. He won severally. I mean, so for that constituency, it's a traditional NDC constituency. I even saw the presidential, the last one. We won it. It's just that some few problems arose in those times that led us to even reducing our vote margin. Otherwise, we always win with massive gap. But I can assure you, we are going to win this one with some large margin there. NPP, if they knew, they shouldn't go for the by-election because the defeat they will get, only God knows.
Where is this confidence stemming from? Because elections, if anything, is to go by from the 2024 election results. He won with over 3,000 votes. In fact, we've just been looking at the numbers.
That was rigged votes. That's why they nullify it. Rigged. Fake.
Okay, so even if we want to look at the presidential outcome, President Mahama won that constituency with just 74 votes.
Yes, because they padded the votes. You know, the MPP, they have appetite for rigging elections. So they were doing it. That is where the problem came from. But this time they won't get that appetite to rig. Because we'll catch them, like how we caught them with this. You remember when we were going to Akotia, Mawina? Didn't they say they were leading us by 2,000 votes? Did you see the 2,000 votes when we went for the by-election? Did you see it? No, they didn't have those kind of things. They have been rigging elections. And we expose them. When we go for by-election, they will be exposed because they won't have that opportunity to do what they used to do. And the verdict of the people will come out clearly.
Is it not the machinery of the states that will come to bear when that rerun happens? The machinery of the states, the NPP accused you of bringing same to Akwetia. Already, Mr. Nyindam says you will do same, seek to bring everybody in government and begin to promise the people anew and all that. That is how they believe you are intending to go about it. That's why you are in a hurry for this rerun to happen.
Mauna, I told you that as a political party, we are social democrats. You saw what we did at Akwetia. You saw what we did at Akwetia. And then everybody saw that we did our best and make sure that we did what is expected of us. So, for that one, I can assure you, we are not going to disturb the sanctity of the electoral process in order to benefit us. NDC will never double in that kind of way. I can assure you about it. We will make sure that the right thing is done. We won't use state machinery to coerce anybody like how our opponents used to do. You saw what happened at Kotia. It was free, fair, transparent. Everybody went about his business peacefully without any issues. So after that one, Mauna, I can assure you.
And so going into this by-election, what is the plan for the NDC?
Oh, we've started planning. I mean, after that one, we've started planning assiduously towards the by-election. Since yesterday I arrived from Tamale, we've been putting our machinery in place. Our activities have been activated because we know no matter what the situation, they'll lose. They are going to lose the election. And the by-election will come. So that one there, we are ready for it.
There's a sentiment out there that, look, you have 188, is it 89 now? You have 189 seats. We haven't added the 4 independent candidates already who've decided to caucus with the majority. Without a doubt, you have the numbers to take whatever decision you want to take in the legislature. What is the hassle with wanting to take extra seats? This is beginning to enter the realms of greed and possibly intimidation of your opponent as well.
Mauna, our parliamentary democracy talks about representation. I hope you are aware of that.
Yes.
It's about representation. The people will decide who should represent them in parliament, not electoral officers and crooked riggers who will now come and put themselves together and get people who are not qualified to represent the constituency to do so. That one they won't agree. It's about representation. So every constituency will get the person who they want to represent them. It has nothing to do with numbers. The good view of Kpandai has nothing to do with numbers. They are looking for someone who will represent them in parliament. And so if Kpandai people decided they want an NDC person to represent them, so be it. What do I have to do with numbers? It has nothing to do because the person is going to speak for Kpandai people. That is what we are looking for.
It's just about the numbers, but you have the numbers and 189. Surely the NPP said, look, out of respect for you, they weren't going to contest you in the Tamale seat. This will be a good time to say that, look, we will allow you to take this one.
Stop here. Let me tell you, they knew very well that they were not going to win Tamale seat. They were fearing humiliating defeat. That is why they ran away. And I'm still telling them, this Kpandai too, they should chicken out. Because when they come there, they will get the worst defeat in their life in Kpandai. No, we're not going to do that. We want the sanctity of our electoral process to be upheld so that the people can decide who they want to lead them. Not some crooked officers who decide for it. That one day, we are not going to accept it. And that is why I'm saying that for us, we will do our homework well and go for the by-election. If our opponents want, they can continue fooling their people around. That's their cup of tea.
I heard the lawyer for your candidates, Nick Papu Samoa, make reference to the candidate, not the candidates, the official of the Electoral Commission in the collation process, and was arguing that, look, that person was a person of interest, and that for you as a party, you should be interested in having that official changed in the lead up to an election. What was the concern with the official in all of the court processes, and why are you being admonished to fight for his change? And are you even going to do that?
Now we are going to, there will be a decent IPAC meeting, and we'll raise the issues over there. The conduct of that returning officer and other officials were very bad. They were being brainwashed to rig the election for MPP. And they controlled to that. Because you could see in his face, when he was being cross-examined, you could see that the man was being compromised to do what he did. And so, should we allow such a person to go and conduct election in that constituency again if you are going for the by-election? Of course, no, the NDC will not accept it.
The minority is just issuing a statement. I'm just seeing their statement come through right now, where they are saying that the Kpandai parliamentary election was conducted in a transparent and accountable manner. The results reflected the choice of the people. The minority caucus remains committed to the rule of law and believes that the appellate process will restore confidence in the democratic outcome delivered by voters of Kpandai. They believe that he won the election. They are standing firm with him. And they make accusations that you and the NDC signed all pink sheets at every polling station across the constituency, confirming the accuracy of the results. And so why are you now in court secured this verdict and you are seeking to have him removed when you signed every pink sheet in the constituency?
Dismiss that statement with the contempt it deserves. Dismiss it completely.
Says your candidate refused to go to Tamale for the coalition as well.
Dismiss that one. Where were they? When they were being cross-examined with all the evidence we produced in the court? Where was this statement? What are they talking about? What are they talking about? Dismiss that statement. This is a propaganda statement. It has no value.
But did your agent sign the final?
No, we are not talking of party agents matter. This is about collation matter. We are talking of collation of results. Agents can sign at polling stations, and then when it comes to collation center, that's where they do all what they did. We are not talking of. I see that's why I said dismiss them. We are talking of collation of results. We are talking of polling stations.
So your pink sheets prove to you that you won the elections, but something else was done at the collation.
Problems. We are not even talking about that one. The 41, we have shown them evidence that because of the issue we raised at the collation center concerning those 41 polling stations with those bad results and other things, they ran away from that place because we were going to catch them one after the other. We are talking of collation. We are not talking of.
It says your candidate ran away or did not show up at the collation center. Reason
Who
why?
told them? We have a rep. The candidate was not our collation agent. We have collation agents there.
Well, I'm sure.
I'm catching up another program.
Sure, I'm sure we'll catch up later. That's Rashid Tanko Computer speaking to us. I wanted to pick his thoughts finally on the petition, but all through our conversation, I could get the sense there was a bit of urgency with which he had to proceed to other matters. He's wearing two hats: Deputy Director of Elections and IT for the NDC, as well as the GIFEC boss.
That's right.
The GIFEC boss. And so national duty calling, and so he has to go. But we've heard him in his own words and speak to and also respond quickly to the minority's latest release as well, saying that look, they are solidly behind Mr. Nyindam and they are unshaken and unwavering in his own words, and they believe that the appellate jurisdiction of the courts will restore the victory.
We live to see. I think he said it all. The NPP also has their rebuttal. We wait to see if the legal processes will make any difference. But as it stands now, the ruling is that in 30 days, all roads lead back to Kpandai. The elections concluded last year, but still, the action continues in 2025. Nearly a year later, will we be returning? Well, this is your election command center, so do expect us to keep you
do
firmly
24 hours. Helen will be in the
Please
studio
relax.
for 24 hours.
Relax.
We'll do 24 hours again, and Helen will be in studio. But we got to pick a few messages as well as we continue our conversations here on the 3FM Sunrise.
.7 3FM. 92.7 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 3FM.
This time we're not just chasing wins, we're collecting them, right? The luckiest is back again, bigger and better, with chances to change your life. I will show you 2 easy ways to get in the game. The first is that you grab your phone, you dial *712#. You choose option 1 to buy a ticket for yourself, or option 2 to buy for somebody else. If you want the system to generate a lucky ticket for you, go with option 1 again. But if you prefer to choose your own ticket number, that's option 2. Confirm your payment with Momo and you're in. The online way, if you want to try this via the internet, as I would say, internet. Head to the luckiestafrica.com and register. Tap on community tickets to either pick your own lucky number or let the system choose one for you. You can buy a ticket for someone else as well. And when it's time to pay, use Momo if you're in the country, or pay with your card if you're abroad. One ticket can multiply your money by 500 times. Your entire community could win 10 times and over. This is your golden chance. Hop on, let's get lucky together, because luck is everywhere. From the right source.
FM. 92.7 3FM. 92.7 3FM. 92.7 3FM. 92.7 3FM. 92.7 3FM.
Okay, no, I don't want that anymore. I wonder if they have any deals on electronics. Is that included?
They'll have deals on
Oh,
electronics.
my way, we are going. Well, this Friday.
This Friday, there's a weekend. It's the entirety of the weekend, actually. So they've dubbed it the Black Friday weekend.
Yes, please. Is there Black Friday deals on food as well?
Oh.
Say.
Oh, I think there's a food court at the Junction Mall.
Maybe there'll be some Black Friday. Get your wallets ready. We're going together against this new haircut of yours. And that will be right after the Moving Pick Classical Night. Oh la la.
This haircut is going to put me in so much trouble. But get ready for massive discounts. And when they say massive, they mean massive. You viewers. Straight to the point. Massive discounts of up to 70% across your favorite shops. Shop big and dip and win exciting surprise giveaways and enjoy live music performances that will keep the energy high all weekend. Bring the entire family, because there will be kids, fun pack activities, entertainment, and unbeatable deals everywhere you turn. This Black Friday weekend, choose a Junction Mall, your number one shopping and ultimate Christmas destination. Don't miss out. Shop, dip, win, join and celebrate at the Junction Mall. The Junction Mall. Join, explore, shop, and enjoy.
I want to visit your lovely nest every day like a
3FM 92.7 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 3FM
All white party, right? That's the biggest end of year party in the country.
3FM 92.7 3FM
Oyalo. Are you ready? Because this December, the waves, the lights, and the music. You are listening to this Guilty Beats track. You should know what it will look like on the 28th, right? The 3FM All White Party Beach Edition. Can you imagine? Beach Edition, the cool breeze and everything coming through. It's coming to the Labadi Beach Hotel, and this year we're turning Paradise into the biggest December shutdown of 2025. And we're not coming small, because the biggest of the biggest is coming. We're talking Stonebwoy, we're talking Kofi Kinata, and loads of surprise artists as well. So if you want to experience this night the right way, then you need a table. You can't do it any other way without a table. How can you come to All White Party and you are standing throughout? Please, let's get serious. 3 levels, 3 moods, 1 unforgettable night. There's platinum for the ones who don't do average. Private space, prestige, premium treatment. You know how the Ghanaians like it, right? I love a lot of premium. That's what we're offering with our platinum premium. Hey, relax, man. You know, we like it premium, premium exclusivity, exclusivity. There's a bit of exclusivity that comes with the platinum. Then we step it down a little for you, right? With a diamond table where luxury will meet energy. You know when they say luxury? You understand what luxury is? We'll Google the word luxury for you today. Then there's a gold. Bold, vibrant, and right in the heart of the party. Listen. We were having a conversation that you want to wait for the tables to be sold, and then you say, "Oh, do you still have tables? Oh, I want to come to the party." Please.
What happens at the gate every all white party is something so heartbreaking. You guys will wait when it's around 5 p.m., 6 p.m., and that's when you say everybody massing up looking for. Listen, when we say we're sold out, we're never joking. We're at full capacity. So when we tell you, every year we encounter the same thing, and I'll be passing, somebody will now grab my trouser.
Won't you give me a
that?
table?
Oh, Charlie.
You can't do this to me.
Book now. You know the drill.
So here's how you can book. Call or WhatsApp us on this number right now, because the 30 December day, it's just some days away. 053-220-0927. 053-220-0927. Book your table because the countdown has begun. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. We'll do this quick spot of commercials because some people are on the streets. We told you about that. And then there's a bit more in terms of development. There's been a busy news week and it's already Tuesday. So you can imagine. Let's go for this quick break. When we return, we have a bit more in terms of the content for you. Stay with us.
92.73 FM. 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 92.7 3 FM. 92.7 3 FM. 92.7 3.
Where my colleague George Queenan is right now. Still here on the 3FM Sunrise. 30 minutes to the top of the hour. And there's a lot of talk. Like I was saying, it's been a very, very busy news week, actually, I have to be honest, because even on the front page of the NPP, outside of this entire talk about Kpandai, something has caught Helen's attention, and she's been wanting to talk about it in terms of the flag bearer race of the NPP. Do you mind sharing with listeners what it is? Like, as I try and see if I can pull up that sound bite for you just quickly.
I know which sound bite you're referring to, but of course, January 2026 is right around the corner. In fact, next Monday we enter December, so the run-up to the NPP's flag bearership race is well and truly upon us. But NPP flag bearer hopeful Ken Ohene-Agyapong has stated that while he has endured insults silently for the sake of the party unity, the day he chooses to speak will prove that there are real men in this party. He says a lion may remain calm for the sake of unity, but it fears no one. You know, lion, Jata. Mm-hmm. He says, I have endured the insults, I have endured the attacks in silence, but the day I choose to speak, you will know that there are real men. There are men, but you will know that there are real men in this party. Ken Ohene-Agyapong, NPP flag bearer hopeful. So if you thought things had been a little bit quiet on his end, here's a small update for you. He says he's remained silent, endured the insults, he's endured the attacks, but the day he decides to speak out, you'll know. It will be fire for everybody. I was just trying to see if I can get the soundbite, but I'm struggling to connect and I'll do that. I'll still do that. But I mean, that race is picking up quite some interest. Some of the hopefuls, I'm not hearing from them. I'm only hearing from about 3 of the hopefuls. Have they given up hope? Is it gone from hopeful to hopeless? What's going on? It's a serious question I'm asking. Someone says he wants a debate and you're saying, has it gone? We had hopefuls. Now the hope is not full. The hope is reducing. How do you want it to be? Have you heard from Mr. Duchum? Have you heard from him in this race? Meanwhile, he has filed his processes, he has paid his money, but I'm not getting that vein from him. So far, it's really been Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, Kennedy Ohene-Agyapong, and even Brian Achampong. I'm hearing more from Brian Achampong. Engineer Agyapong, not so much, but he's calling for a debate. Maybe if he gets it, we'll hear him more forcefully. But Mr. Duchum, I'm not hearing. Who is the one more I've left out? I'm not hearing from him at all. Who is in his corner as far as the campaign is concerned? Brian was one who was speaking. Yes. Even behind the scenes, picking intel here and there that he's still quite active, at least as far as the delegates are concerned. Others, maybe they are working behind the scene. Have you gone from hopeful to not so hopeful to hopeless? We want to know. Perhaps it's just a case of we want to meet the delegates on the ground and not talk much. Okay, that's also a strategy, because really it's in the hands of the delegates. It's got nothing really to do with you or I. But at least let's see some keche, behind the scenes kakra, in front of the scenes kakra, so that we also have your buy-in. After all, after you've met with the delegates, your next step is with us, the electorate. So let's see something. Kennedy Ohene-Agyapong says, if you try something, you see something. She said, don't say something. You see something. You're overly excited. You're overly excited about what appears to be a bus boost because you enjoy it far too much. Oh, no. I mean, I'm not here for that. We've spoken at length about why it's important for there to be a strong opposition. Sometimes, these things just come to tickle us a little bit. But for the NPP, this is very serious business, especially as they head to this flag bearership race. place. What happens next is going to be very defining for the party. The idea is that this particular flag bearer is going to be that catalyst for change, be the glue to hold this party together. Because listen, if the MPP is distracted, we can't get them to do what they really need to do, which is to keep government on its toes. And we can't have that. As citizens, we don't see everything. You need a strong opposition to watch them like a hawk, so that nothing goes on our blind side.
The hawk.
We need them to watch like a hawk. But if they are also distracted doing, basbos, if you talk, I won't talk. If you talk, you see the lion here and there. I mean, who's going to watch them like a hawk? So we want them to, quickly re-strategize so that we don't miss anything at all. So that the NDC doesn't think that this is going to be a free ride. We need them on their toes. Hot, accountable at all times. That is my main interest. But of course, along the way, if we are furnished with a bit of, here and there, a bit of hot here and there, we'll take it. Our job is just to report it.
You don't amputate. You don't reject.
They say if you say something, me too, I'll say something.
You don't reject any of the bad.
When you see something, say something. We watch this space again keenly, but that's what caught my eye this morning. Although under that post, supporters of his are not happy that he's been quiet at all. They say he's been too lenient in allowing some of these attacks to go unanswered. They want him to respond there and then, but we'll talk about that later.
Let's try and engage Professor Smart Sapong on this matter that has piqued your interest. Perhaps you want to speak to him, but Mr. Ohene Japong, very strong words, and I'm on his Twitter page right now, and in one of such instances, it says, "A lion may remain calm for the sake of unity." I think that's what piqued your interest.
That was the one.
He says, "You cannot rush to concede defeat before counting is done and cause our MPs to lose seats, then expect leadership again. Not today, not tomorrow." Some of the commentary from him in the lead up to the elections. Prof, I appreciate you speaking to us this morning. It's looked like things had gone quiet a bit, but Mr. Japon is back again and is looking very feisty in the last few days with his commentary. You expect the party to want to intervene in one way or the other, or things should remain the way it is?
Right. Good morning to your good self and to the team and to our cherished listeners. I think once it is a party with leadership, we would expect leadership to intervene. It looks like both camps, all the camps, if not the main two, are playing the victim to the very things they themselves are doing. You realize when things started, the Bawumia camp was playing the victim to Ken's team attacks. They would come up with things that they feel is to the person of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. They complained, and it looked like they were playing the victim and Ken's side were the ones attacking. Then it gets to a point where the Ken side also begins to bring out evidence to the effect that their camp is also being attacked. And so they also play the victim. This particular stage we are has come up after a seemingly quite quiet period, maybe 2 months of those blame games and attacks were gone. And unfortunately, we are getting to another heated point. It's expected as we inch towards the date, but we would want the leadership, especially that committee they set up. If you remember, they set up a committee to monitor and kind of control the campaign and those things. That committee, if it still exists, should try and step in immediately. As for actions and inactions of people, they if they have the chance, they would do something different, or perhaps if they are convinced by what they did, they would maintain. You don't change a winning team. So, for example, if Dr. Bawumia feels that his early concession was negative to the effect of the party in winning 2024 elections, he would have to reflect along with the entire party leadership to see whether, given the opportunity again, he would want to concede early or wait till whatever time suitable to concede. And then for Ken to use that one as a campaign It depends on the angle he is looking at it. But from where I sit, the question I keep asking myself is, if you lose an election, all right, is it the time of concession that determines your loss, or irrespective?
His argument is that the concession was too early and it caused them to lose additional seats, because if your candidate has gone in very early and say, "Oh, I've lost the election," and then that's the belief that, look, that early concession caused them to lose extra seats which they shouldn't have lost.
Yes. So then you ask yourself. So we started the Fourth Republic with separate elections, parliamentary separate, presidential separate, and for good reasons we decided to bring the two together, but just on the same day. All right. So the parliamentary election occurs separately from the presidential election, only that it occurs at the same day, on the same day. So I don't think the two are the same. And if I'm a parliamentary candidate in the constituency, and I'm even the most caring or loving person to the presidential candidate, I don't think I would love the presidential candidate's vote and protect it better than my own vote. All right? And I'm speaking like a human. I mean, I would want to pay more attention to mine. In the instance I can't pay equal attention, I would pay more attention to mine if I was a parliamentary candidate, even than the presidential candidate. So, and usually they finish counting. They count both. So both numbers are protected at the polling stations before it moves into collation. And so the impression that the members of parliament could not pay more attention to DS and paid more attention to the president's own, the presidential candidate's own. And so by the time they came back to DS, it was too late to salvage. Reality would want to contest that, because I mean, I'm speaking as me. If I'm ever a parliamentary candidate and my presidential candidate's vote is there, mine is there, I don't think I would pay less attention to mine as compared to that which I'll pay to. But I mean, the summary is that for me, irrespective of when you concede defeat, victory is victory, and then a loss is a loss. The lesson or the education we must put out there in public is that the process leading to the election must be taken as important and as serious as the election day's activities. So that if you do all that you need to do and the people come to vote for you and recount the votes at the polling station and you have won, you have won. And if it comes to protecting the votes from the polling station to the coalition center, if any parliamentary candidate is unable to protect both, I am sure the excuse will not be I protected the presidential candidate's votes more than my votes. And so when he conceded, I returned to my vote and I was already taken away or something. So for me, that's how I look at it. But the committee, as you mentioned, should be up and doing. Coming events usually will cast
their shadows, yeah.
And if you don't hold it at this early stage, it might degenerate into something else.
I would just have you hold the line for us and take a listen to some of the things that he had to say at Takwan Swaim. Yes, yesterday we've seen videos of it, and then perhaps we'll see if there is really an emergency meeting that should be organized by that committee, the presidential primary committee, or not. Just stay with us.
Unity, everybody but I got no pursuit of them. One man said yes, another party. Musari, Uncle Tuaba, Yankade Abeni. What's it? I concede. Not MPs and lose one seat. Musia and Sam
So that just brief excerpt, really, Prof, of some of the things that he's had to say. There's a bit more, but I'm sure when we're done with our conversation with you, which excites Helen, we'll get into it. So you say that they should be taking interest in these, but for far too long, Prof, you and I can admit on this one that there's been a reactionary approach to an extent to some of the commentary and the conversations which have surrounded the process. Even some weeks ago, there was an entire haggle about whether or not proxies should be allowed, even though a decision had been taken that proxies were not going to be allowed. It looks like that firmness or that firm nature with which decisions ought to be taken and things ought to be done has been missing for quite a while, and it's allowing for all of these things to fester.
Yeah, partly right. But I think the relook at the no proxy vote decision was as a result of a petition submitted by, I think, the foreign branches or one of the foreign branches or something. And the committee had to sit on the petition and determine whether they were going to vary their earlier decision or maintain. And they came out to maintain the earlier decision. But, I mean, maybe it is just for peace sake or consensus sake. That's why they will admit such petitions after a decision has been made. But, I mean, all is well and good. They have maintained their earlier decision. The chaos would have been more if they had changed their earlier stand. So, for me, it's a process. They would want to manage it delicately so that it doesn't affect any camp to disturb the sanctity of the outcome they will be expecting by 31st. My advice goes again to that committee, which is supposed to check that peace or camps are not attacked or sanity prevails in the process. They are being reactionary, and I agree with you if you say they are being reactionary. They should be proactive rather, instead of waiting for things to go out before they come and respond. Because if it is true that people are insulting Ken, then what has been their position on it or statement? If so has been issued, we would have seen some in the public domain. But now Ken is the one complaining that the lion has been sleeping and people have been attacking the lion. And the day they disturb the lion, the lion gets up. And we all know what the lion can do when he gets up. Eric, you know, you and I know. So that committee should be a little proactive so that the lion doesn't get awakened to roar. Or if it roars, we all know what can happen. So that is it. But I think, again, the camps must be properly advised. The leaders must advise their side. This thing, no A, no vote, no this, no that, I think it doesn't foster unity at the end of the day. Just stay with the issues. The last time I heard one of the campaigners for Ken, Madame Natoshi, also firing from several angles. I mean, let's stick to the issues, all right? Once you stay with the issues, the delegates are wise. The delegates, whoever they are wise. They might not be as literate as some of them are. They might be in the hinterlands and villages, but at least we trust that once they are delegates, their decision is the decision of God or the decision of the party. And at the end of the day, if they love their party, they may want to come together and unite. So the blame game and this is that and this one is that, those things, is not part of the issues. 3 things must feature in any internal election campaign. Number 1 is what you intend to do for the very party you seek to lead. And you may have the opportunity to review what has happened in the past and what you would do separately if given the opportunity to come and lead. It's very important. Then the second thing they must try and do, once they are an opposition party, they must take the opportunity, meeting their delegates, to brief the delegates on the performance of the sitting government. This time, not the good ones, the bad ones, because, I mean, it is not the duty of opposition to praise the sitting government. Draw out some of the inertia or the negatives of this government. Maybe their inability to fight Galamsey as they promised. Maybe the challenge of insecurity in some parts of the country. Maybe this, maybe that. You identify those that the people you are meeting will appreciate. And then you discuss with them for them to know that, oh, it is not all gone. Like the NDC is not doing too much that we can't come to power if we unite and fight. Oh, there's still some hope. We can do this and do this because we are not doing this thing right, doing that one right. When you do that, you energize your already broken people, because the defeat in the past was quite weak. It can bring the party spirit down. So you take that opportunity to ignite their spirit. And then the last one is some ideas that you think you can have to better the entire Ghana if you become the leader. Because, I mean, for the NDC and the MPP, once you become flag bearer, there is some high opportunity of you becoming the president. So 3 things. Something for Ghana. And sometimes we hear some of them saying some nice things. I don't know why they have deviated from those things and they are going astray. For example, Ken said when he comes, he's going to make some regions take
food baskets and all of
food
that.
Baskets. Yeah, and those things. Fantastic. All right. Then Dr. Bawumia would say, when I come, I will do a constituency-based budget and then maybe appoint 10 people from each constituency, those things. I mean, some of these things can lead and
those are the conversations they should be having.
They should be having.
Prof, appreciate you speaking to us this morning on such short notice. I'm sure we'll come to you again in the course of the event and the conversations.
Anytime, my brother.
As Professor Smart Sapon is a political scientist speaking to us this morning, I'm just going to have Helen listen to a bit more in terms of the gospels for the morning, and then we can do birthdays, because today we have tons of birthday messages.
Oh, fantastic!
Which we should be running through.
Good morning is on 92.7, Sunrise on 3 FM.
Western region, they've come in their numbers. Those young ones, they don't want to come. It's their problem. Yabeti Western region is your. For 17 seats, I got 2. 17 seats, I got 2. Fabia, any woman is so. Fabia, any woman is so. 17 seats, I got 2. Fabia, any woman is so. Woman say, "Ya kukudro, ebe ya hula." I'm in the region. I want to see a man who will stop me. No man born of a woman can stop me. And I'm propaganda. When the propaganda, yeah, fuck off the NBC for Nigeria City, man. When the propaganda, yeah, Nigeria City, man. 10 years new woman. When the ammonia be Nancy 31st, the 2 members are not a macapa. And no one knows so. And we are not to control, no go to number. And money are Ghana force one open. Now MPP and Sabra power. Or we are all catching on say. Obey you, be a free, not on
The best in the morning is on 92.7, Sunrise on 3 FM.
And the Papa could have been on the Adam about 20 and the referee. So I'm never doing a woman who was a Papa Copacho said, see, you know, the Mama Yalusuno, constituency executive, animal for my MP. You should bow down your head and show. So I'm not losing seat. We are alongside the broker. Come on, wake up, be bold, not be afraid of anybody. We will take the party. And run it better than what they did. I mean, Nipa back for over who are here more. And now who are the next guy? And you know that I'm not going now. Who are here more? Obi ane ne master. Pay for